As a new Elver license holder, it is critical for you to support the health of the Elver population by taking the following steps to ensure that every Elver you harvest makes it to the dealer alive and in good shape. Proper equipment is key to keeping Elvers alive after the harvest. Every Elver harvester, whether using a fyke net or a dip net, will need a bucket filled with clean, unchlorinated water to hold the Elvers you catch until you transport them to a vehicle for delivery to a dealer. A 5-gallon bucket available at any hardware store will do. It is important to have a bucket within reach as you remove Elvers from a fyke net or dip net. With your bucket, you will need a mesh screen to help separate the Elvers from other fish, debris, or sand fleas which can harm or even kill Elvers. The size of the mesh should allow Elvers to pass through, but hold everything else. Mesh screens can be purchased at pet stores or marine supply stores. They can be attached to the top of the bucket with a bungee cord or attached to a frame that sits on top of the bucket. A small aquarium net or other similar device can be used to fish out any additional contaminants that make their way into your bucket or tank. Using an air pump in a cooler or some other container full of clean, unchlorinated water to maintain a high level of dissolved oxygen protects the health of your Elvers before or during transportation to a dealer. Placing Elvers in oxygenated water is especially important when the water temperature is above 40 degrees. Small oxygen pumps can be purchased at most hardware or pet supply stores. For fyke net fishermen, if fresh water is colder than the ocean water, you should empty your net before the tide turns from an incoming tide to an outgoing tide. Cold temperatures from the fresh water can kill Elvers if they are left in the net. A thermometer to measure the temperature of both the freshwater and ocean water will help determine if the fresh water is colder than the ocean water. It's important to transfer Elvers from a dip net or fyke net to a bucket filled with clean, unchlorinated water as quickly as possible. This is especially true when the temperature is below freezing to prevent the cold temperatures from injuring or potentially killing the Elvers. Sudden temperature changes can harm Elvers, so anytime they are transferred from one container to another, make sure the difference in water temperature between containers is no more than 5 degrees. When carrying a bucket of Elvers, whether to a different fishing spot or to a vehicle, it is important to securely fit a cover on the bucket to avoid accidentally spilling any Elvers. The shoreline of streams and rivers can be very slippery, so it's important to safeguard your Elvers while walking along the banks of rivers and streams. As mentioned earlier, placing Elvers in a container such as a cooler with clean, unchlorinated water with an air pump that maintains a high concentration of dissolved oxygen will allow you to maintain the health of your Elvers prior to and during transport to a dealer. If you hold Elvers before transporting them to a dealer, maintain a water temperature in your container of around 46 degrees, but no more than 55 degrees. As a new Elver license holder, it is critical for you to support the health of the population by taking these steps that support the conservation and continued success of Maine's Elver fishery.